briefly, who here knows about Ripple? Wait a minute. Is this a BitConnect crowd? Who here holds or held Ripple? All right, I'm not here to judge, I'm a lawyer, not a judge. Okay, come see me, I'll defend you later. David's going to be suing you later, this is televised, he's coming after you. All right, so the concept that Ripple raised so let me start over. The SEC demanded that Ripple turn over attorney-client privileged information to the SEC to prove Ripple's statement that they were acting in accordance to their belief that Ripple was not a security. Okay? Now, that's generally called a good faith belief or relying on advice of counsel. And if you raise the advice of counsel, I asked my lawyer said it was legal. What you've done there is implicitly waived the attorney-client privilege because you're putting your lawyer in front of whoever's coming after you saying, this guy said it was okay. And if it wasn't for that guy saying it was okay, I wouldn't have done it. That's what the SEC argued that Ripple was doing, but instead, Ripple did something different, something novel, something unique that made me laugh and go, well, that's a good legal team, right? Ripple raised the argument of fair notice. And in short, Ripple said, SEC, Ripple's been traded on over 200 exchanges for 8 years, and you didn't do a damn thing about it. But you want to do it now? If it was so wrong to begin with, you should have come talk to us 8 years ago. You didn't give us fair notice that you were going to enforce this. That's the argument. Now, as a securities lawyer, understanding the laws, there's several reasons why in the end that argument is probably going to fail. But I have to raise my hand and say that the California CPA's forensic accountants meeting in Los Angeles 4 years ago, I stood in that room with the SEC in there as the keynote speaker and lambasted them and ridiculed them for not doing anything during the fraudulent ICO period, which then meant everybody else thought it was okay. Now, obviously, in the crypto world, 6 months may as well be 10 years. Things change that fast. So to the crypto mindset, to the crypto user, if I've gone a week without being arrested and I just launched a coin and nobody's done anything, hell, I'm good. David, do you think that's a correct legal analysis to say that after a week if nobody's arrested you, you're okay?
No.
There you go. Regulators are slow. Regulators don't have resources. Regulators are going to regulate. And the regulators don't have a statute of limitations for bringing administrative actions.
So you've now heard a long version. Let me tell you what the conclusion of the Ripple lawsuit is going to be. Ripple's going to lose. So if anyone has any other questions about what's going to happen, it's very easy. They're going to lose.
David, aren't you the lead counsel on that Ripple class action?
I am not the lead counsel on the Ripple class action because I actually turned it down for a reason. For 8 years, everybody knew what was going to happen, but more importantly, I work on contingency fee. I only make money if I make you money back. You show me any single person who bought Ripple originally at a penny and wants to get a penny back instead of what's trading at today.
It's over $1.
Over $1. I will give anyone the penny right now if you give me $1. It's a phenomenal deal, but it means I have no clients. So no, I'm not a fan of that class action. Ripple is eventually going to lose, and it's going to be good for crypto. It's going to be good for crypto when Ripple loses.
So, seeing that that things went down how they did, do you think that the SEC erred in waiting such a long time to bring an action against Ripple, especially since there's a subsequent action from FinCEN?
Sure. So I made a statement that I believe. Could you do me a favor and turn down the 800 hertz range on this microphone or on this monitor so it stops feedback? Thanks. So 4 years ago, perfect, thank you. 4 years ago, when I said to the SEC that I believed that their lack of action was fueling the ICO, fraudulent ICO craze, I said that. For me to say differently now would be stupid. It's been 8 years since they did something. And yes, I blame the SEC for allowing the rampant fraud and the creation of all kinds of products that people are losing money on, that are bringing discredit to the space, that are making people think that all crypto and all crypto projects are nothing but a big scam. And that hurts the people that are trying to do real things. Who here is trying to do something real with crypto other than just stand back on day one and wait for the 10x PAM and get rich? There's one guy. One guy trying to do something real out of all of you. Come on.
And a girl.
So everybody trying to do something real should absolutely hate the 99% of the others that made 100, 200x on day one that were stealing people's money. It drove attention to the space because people were becoming rich overnight, but it was the expense of stealing money from innocent people that had no idea what they were doing. And the SEC didn't enforce it, they didn't go after them, and it spread like wildfire. And that's why David now has a new swimming pool that he's filled with the blood of his enemies.
So I'll do a little self-promotion for a second. I shot a CNBC special 3 years ago when they were talking about whether crypto was good or bad. And in that special, it was me, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, who at the time said crypto was bad, and some guy wearing a tiger outfit who was only buying Bitcoin to live. And my father looked at me and he said, should I invest in Bitcoin? And I was like, Dad, how stupid can you be? There's a crook, a guy wearing a tiger outfit, and your son on TV. There's absolutely no reason. So let me be clear here. I do not give investment advice. If I was smarter and I was a good investor, I would have bought the Bitcoin. I can tell you legally what's going to happen, but from an investment perspective, I can't tell you anything. But the SEC and the government, they're not the problem. The problem is the crooks in the space. The problem is not that they're slow to go after the bad apples. You know, for those of you in the room who know Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes, you know, it's 6 years later, and they have her dead to rights that she was making up government contracts and that her blood test didn't work. That she's first going to trial now. So it's not the problem of the SEC. The problem was in 2017. It used to be live in your parents' garage, come up with an idea, make a prototype, sell your prototype, and then you get to be rich. The ICO inverted that process. Write a 10-page white paper that you copied off from someone else, and turn around, and then make $2 billion, and then next month say you spent all that money, and there's nothing left when you get to see it. Here in Crypto 2.0, we're going back to the fundamentals, and that's good for everyone in this room. It's good if you want to do things legitimately, and you don't want to get sued by the government, by your investors, by people who buy your stuff. Because ultimately, in 2014, I had a cottage industry. I was the only lawyer in the country who did things on contingency fee, and I had all the lawsuits. I'm walking out of this room, I'm getting into my next car, my driver's gonna drive me a block over to the other conference, I'm gonna sit down with a bunch of lawyers who charge $1,000 an hour, and they're all gonna tell me how I'm still a fucking asset. They're all gonna tell me I'm wrong, and I'm gonna tell them, you guys are all employed because I am suing every single one of your clients. And if you are successful, that's what's gonna happen. So you wanna be good at what you do, you wanna be honest, and it's a really easy rule, I say to everybody.
Build something.
Don't steal people's money.
Build something.
So, do you guys have any opinions on the eventual outcome of the case?
On the Ripple case? Well, David's already said that he believes they're going to lose.
On what basis?
Federal government, including securities regulators, have a 99.9% success rate in court. There's a reason for that. They're always going to win. There is always a technical deficiency. Ripple has the best lawyers in the world, but so did Telegram when they did a, what was it, $1.5 billion raise?
Ish.
They did about $1.5 billion raise-ish. They have the same lawyers Ripple did, and you know, Telegram went away. So they have a problem because the truth is, early on, They were trading for money. Everybody knew it. Everybody wanted to make money. So to rewrite history that they were doing something else is still not true. I can't tell you right now a single business that takes Ripple. I mean, how much billions of dollars have they sold? Make a goddamn product already. Do something with all this money. But for that reason alone, when it came out, yeah, they're gonna lose.
Build something, then raise money. That's a better product. Now,
We have a question from the gentleman by the bar.
yeah,
I'm gonna build a comment, okay? So I'll build a comment for you. One of the fundamental, if not the fundamental principle behind cryptocurrencies of all variety, not exclusive to Ripple, which is their cryptocurrency, is that we don't like fiat. Fuck your SEC, or SEC. They can't stop all the national best bid and best offer violations. They don't care about correcting their own dark hole bullshit. They don't give a fuck. They let the pensions go depleted, don't they? They will never turn the scrutinizing eye on their own interests. However, when there is competition, we'll go right fucking for it. And then have cocksuckers like you who go, hey, guys, we're here to protect you, so we're gonna legitimize the presence of the people that we're trying to fucking save in the first place. You know, help, no matter what side you're on. We're protecting you, we're suing that. Fuck off, illegitimate pieces of shit.
okay, so if you didn't hear the comment,
Excellent comments.
if you didn't hear the comment from the gentleman on the side,
Excellent
filming.
comments.
He's frustrated, he believes that the SEC is not legitimate, and we on stage are illegitimate pieces of shit.
Yes.
Very good. Okay.
Sir,
all other
I
comments?
Your marriage is so subscribed to the very thing that we're trying to build against. So don't tell us to build. If you go, no, we're going to bring the old guard and attack anything that you do.
So what I would ask you, one, if you're going to attack us on stage, I'm going to reciprocate.
No, I'm not.
One, pull your head out of your ass. Pull your head out of your ass.
From you.
Pull your head out of your
So
ass. That's
Jason,
what sound like.
Jason,
Okay?
and the gentleman who, I actually really appreciate your comments.
You good?
And I can say, let me tell you something. I'll tell you something.
You don't know, hold on, you don't know what I've done in this space. You don't know who I've defended. You don't know all the people I've tried to save from themselves. You have no concept of the hours, the hundreds of thousands of white papers I've gone through and kept people out of jail because they were going to fuck it all up. But if you want to reverse that, and you want to go back to the Wild West and nobody knows what crypto is, so I'm going to do fuck all of what I want because anarchy, you don't belong here. Get the fuck out.
No, his voice is
Are
very.
we good?
Let's put it this way.
No. I have the microphone, you don't. Other people are asking questions, you're done. Next question.
So I would like to say something. I appreciate your comments. I think they are kind of spot on, but I also think you're attacking the wrong people. And I'll tell you why. I didn't go to law school because I wanted to be a lawyer or to build really expensive houses. You know, I went because I wanted to build things and I wanted to understand the laws that govern building things. And that's why I went. These laws exist. We can't wish them away. You can disregard them. I mean, the universe is large, you can move, you can go somewhere, but at the end of the day, enforcers are gonna come for you if they're gonna come for you, and regulators are gonna regulate. So, we are not your enemies.
What kind of makes me chuckle about statements when people say what I'm doing is wrong and we shouldn't allow people to do this. What crypto wanted so badly was mainstream adoption. What people love about Bitcoin and why there's 20,000 people in South Miami right now is because Bitcoin price went through the roof and it took all of the alts along with it. And the problem with mainstreaming as an asset class, which cryptocurrency has become, is you're going to invite regulators and professionals. If you want grandma to trade your crypto, you're going to have investor protections. We live in the real world. We don't live in the world where everyone just trusts everyone and it works out. That was the ICOs in 2017, and everybody lost their shirts. So the problem is that we have to learn that you have to do it legitimately. You have to do it. If you want the benefits of civil society, you're going to have to play by the rules When people tell you, fuck the rules, we're not gonna play by them, those are the guys don't invest a dollar with, because those are the guys who are eventually gonna steal your money.
Another question?
I want to say something as well. So,
We only have 5 minutes left. We can get a 5-minute signal. Go ahead.
Gentleman in the blue shirt.
Yeah, so my question to you, sir, in the middle is, well, you made a point earlier, you said, like, you gave bad advice on Bitcoin, it's not your place to give financial advice, but you have to have an opinion on how cryptocurrency is going to change the economy and currency as a whole in the future. And by following the rules and making sure that we're following regulation, we stay on track with that change. Like, you have that opinion right there. And then also, you said, 99.9% of the people that got sued and go to jail is because it's a Ponzi scheme. But I think the point the gentleman was trying to make too is that we have to look at like the legal definition of a Ponzi scheme, and there's of course a lot to go into that, but the central bank creates credit out of thin air, and then he distributes it, and then it's like, oh, put my money in the bank that is using my money just like a Ponzi scheme as well, in definition.
So
like at the same time, it's also like his question really is about ethics and morals.
So I'm just wondering if you have a question or if you're trying to comment, because I want to repeat your question for the cameras and for the people that are tuning in live.
I'm just curious, I guess, on your overall opinion on the future of crypto
So the question is the opinion on the overall future of crypto.
So I'll answer the first part, which is your first basis of your question. What is the future? I say this to people all the time. It's evolution. Digital money is better than paper money. So there is going to be, but you can take the 2,000 cryptocurrencies nowadays, as far as I'm concerned, spin a wheel, and that's the crypto that's going to be the survivor. So if you take Netscape, for instance, the original browser, at some point in time, Netscape was the most dominant browser. And if you held stock in Netscape, you were doing great. I can't tell you which crypto has the best underlying technology. I'm a 16th century English major from college who's become a lawyer who handles cryptocurrency. What I can tell you is, it's the evolution. I believe in it. I've been here for 7 years. It's definitely going to change the way people handle money in the future. But as to who's going to be the best, that I can't.
So who here has Dogecoin? Doge? Great, all right. So who here hates Elon Musk?
For a plethora of reasons.
Why?
The Doge father.
Right?
The Doge
the
father.
problem is, Doge was created as a joke, okay? It was created as a joke. And if you had told me to predict in the future that there was going to be a massive GameStop-style effort on an exchange called Robinhood that was going to bring Dogecoin out of the dark ages and have it trading for 10 cents, I would have told you to go fuck yourselves because you have no idea what you're talking about. And that would have been last year. Okay, the point I'm making is to predict the future of crypto, when he was saying take 2,000 different cryptos and spin a wheel and who knows what's going to happen, that's not true. Because there are dark web locations where people coordinate their trading algorithm bots in order to maximize arbitrage, increase play, increase volume, and take advantage of market triggers and bots that have them react automatically to create market activity. Did you know that? Anyone? Right, we all know that because we're in crypto. Do you get to do that in a regulated world with stocks? No, you go to jail for that.
You go to jail if you get caught.
Not with crypto. So the point is, as you're building something, trying to do your best efforts, trying to succeed, you are always going to run up against somebody that says, dude, did you take out a second mortgage on your home and go on Robinhood and buy GameStop? You're like, I have no idea why you're even advising me, bartender, on why I should do that.
So, Jason, we have a question from a gentleman in the front.
Question, yes, go.
You guys,
Last question.
do you guys have an online presence in which we can follow and learn more about your opinions?
I don't want to publish my online presence right now because I think the guy in the back is putting a contract out on me right now.
So, funny question.
No, just so I can repair. All good, brother.
There you go.
Good?
Solid.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
So we do a show with Maxwell Bates called Bitcoin Lord Week. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. We, go back and forth on a lot of issues, and we'd love to have you chime in.
Bitcoin Law Review.
Bitcoin Law Review.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more question? Anyone? Go ahead.
Yeah, if you're building a platform, say, to mint and sell NFT books or music, and you have lawyers and you're paying them, and that's the first thing you do to make sure you're trying to obey the law. Well, it's so new. How do you know that your lawyers know your shit? Because there's only a few of them and they're brand new.
First of all, great question. If you didn't hear it in the back, if you're trying to build NFTs, you've got artwork, you've got creativity, you've got music, you've got something that you're trying to encapsulate into a non-fungible token and then market that within the digital space, right?
Yep.
And you're working with lawyers, how do you know if that lawyer knows what they're doing and how do you do that? If they're going to even know the law, right? Correct? That's the question?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I want to try to say this as succinctly as possible because we're running out of time. You want to go to an intellectual property lawyer. You don't need to go to a crypto lawyer. You don't need to go to a securities lawyer. You go to somebody that understands copyright. Because if you take that same idea and draw it on a piece of paper, it is a physical medium versus the NFT being a digital medium. And I know this because 4 years ago when rare pepes were all the rage, I created 3 hand-drawn rare pepes myself, and I'm in the certified rare pepe catalog, and I have my own fucking NFTs. All right? It is copyrighted work. Copyright is what you want. So you're dealing with NFTs, you're trying to resell that, you're trying to figure out how to monetize it. You don't need a securities lawyer, you don't need a crypto lawyer, you need a copyright lawyer or an intellectual property lawyer. Very good question.
No, we don't have any time. I'm sorry. We have a lot of people here. Talk to them outside.
All right,
I'm sure
very good. Thanks, everyone.
You can tell we're almost done day 2.